What's happening, film nerds? David the Film Junkie here. Jay Baruchel. I can never say his last name right. You know, this guy right here. He's almost like a skinnier, weirder, awkward Christian Slater. They got that same kind of lexicon, I guess you could say that. I can't think of the word. It's just the way he talks. Like if you had them both, they could play brothers essentially. Like if they were in a cast in the same movie together, they'd be brothers for sure. But he was recently promoting Goon: Last of the Enforcers, which I heard the first Goon movie is actually pretty good. And he was caught on saying something really good about Batman vs Superman, and it's kind of funny because he was hesitant at first, and he even said that he was gonna get shit for this, and but he had something good to say about it. And basically, what he said right here, he goes. All right, and what was he talking? He was praising. They were asking him about what was his favorite movies from last year, and he said Nocturnal Animals was like his favorite movie of last. And then he goes, and then I have another one. And he goes, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, Ultimate Edition is probably the film. And then he goes, the Ultimate Edition. I mean, at first he was like, I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but he emphasized the Ultimate Edition. It's probably the film I've seen the most from last year. I've watched it about 7 times. The interviewer then pointed out how Zack Snyder's divisive film was a really distinct vision as compared to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And he goes, thank you! Which I say the same thing. Thank you. This is what I said. Even when I saw the theatrical one and didn't love it, in its weakest moment, it was more choice, style, and commitment to it than the moment in Captain America: Civil War. I can't tell you what it's about or who made it. You watch Batman vs Superman, you know exactly what it's about and who fucking committed to a choice, and DC always does that. Boom! And then he goes, I think history is going to regard that as the world's most expensive indie film. And I like that he said that because I actually felt like that too. Like it's like this is gonna be a cult classic. Similar of how Man of Steel is now, people are going back to Man of Steel and going, you know what? This is kind of fucking brilliant. This is a really good Superman movie. It's just like something we haven't seen. There's elements in here that we have not seen before, and it's just something different. And a lot of people I've seen are like, yeah, Man of Steel is really good. And I think this is what's gonna happen with Batman vs Superman. It's crazy, and I love that he said that, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about. I mean, he's got such a point here. If you watch any of the any of the MCU movies, you can't really, unless you actually know, you can't see a distinctive like director. You really can't. You can't see. I mean, even with like when you look at Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel, you could see 2 different directing styles right there. And when it comes to the MCU, you really can't see the difference. I mean, they all have like just like the same tone almost. I'm trying to think of one that might stand out, and I really can't see it. Maybe no, not even Thor: The Dark World. I mean, there's just really. I mean, I would say Winter Soldier stands out. When the Russos took over the Captain America franchise, it definitely felt different. And that's why I think Winter Soldier is like one of my favorite MCU movies still to this day. But then you go right to Civil War and you just go like, did Joss Whedon direct this? Did Jon Favreau direct this? It has that similar tone and everything. But for some reason with Winter Soldier, that's the one that sticks out the most, I think. Sorry, still trying to fight whatever's trying to, invade my body. And I've always told people this too. I'm like, okay, when you look at Civil War, you look at any of the MCU movies, and you look at Batman or Superman, there's such a difference in tone. It doesn't follow that same formula of ha fun. We got first act, second act, and third act. You got like something just going on that's different here. And yes, it's Batman or Superman. People are like, yeah, but they barely fought. I'm like, yeah, but the whole movie is about their differences, about their big time differences, and it really shows in the Ultimate Edition when you see Clark actually doing some Clark Kent shit. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, and I'm going, why the fuck did they remove all that? Because you see Clark being Clark. and not being Superman and not being like sad about, oh god damn, everybody hates me. He's being Clark and being optimistic and everything, even though sometimes he's like down on himself. But that's also what I like too, is the fact that Superman's being pushed to his limits. He's trying to be the best he can, but yet there's still people out there, big groups of people that just absolutely hate him. And it's so funny because that's what's happening in our world now, where when it divided the left and the right and everything. You got to wonder, like, if Superman was really in this world, would it be just like that? And I think it goddamn would be, And that's where Civil War, I think, really missed out on being grounded in reality. Like, the actual book Civil War really shows that, how superheroes and the damage that they cause can really have an effect. And then there's people like, God damn it, these they need to be held accountable for. And of course they have all of that, and then people having to remove their masks so you could see their secret identity. They couldn't get that. They couldn't grasp that in the movie, obviously. But so they had even though I loved Civil War because it was just like a big nerd fest, there's just like a missed opportunity there. It was just a watered down Civil War. When it comes to Batman vs Superman, it was not watered down. I mean, Snyder really pushed the envelope because obviously the Ultimate Edition ended up being rated R, even though it wasn't a hard R. And some of us are like, what the fuck? Why was it rated R? But I think Jay is right here. It's going to go down as a really like a cult classic, and it's the most expensive indie film out there. I like that. I really like that, and I actually like him more now. I was never really a big fan of his, but yeah, I like it that he said that. That's pretty awesome stuff. But let me know your thoughts about it. What do you think about his quotes right here about him saying that it's the most expensive indie film, which means it's going to be a cult classic? Let me know your thoughts about it down below. Go at it. Let me know. And also hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the news channel. And follow me on the sock meds that are right above my head. All right, guys. Talk to you later.